One tool that helps us do faster calculation or in mental math basically is simple estimation. I use simple estimation, but I didn't give it a name over there. But now we are giving it. So what is it basically? Simple estimation involves making a educated guess or to rough calculate of a quantity rather than determining its precise value. So basically what we are trying to tell is it's okay to just add up or subtract set of numbers which is convenient to you guys in a manner which is convenient to you, and that result is okay for us to continue. You might be wondering, when will we use it? So we'll go through each of this, or actually if you guys can pause and read through it, that will be much convenient. So here we have an example. Say your school headmaster, they might know the exact number of students or estimate count in sufficient for a general purpose. It's like this. See, every classroom, say we aim for 40, the school aims for 40 students. And there are, say, first grade to 10th grade. So there will be basically 10 classrooms. These are the students, 10 classrooms, right? But we know that this might not be the case. Some might have 41 students and some might have 38 students. This is also possible, maybe they're absent. Maybe one student came from out of town and they badly wanted to join the school. So they're like, let's have this kid in our classroom. So there are 10 classes on an average, that is on a rough manner, say we take it as 40 students. So there are 400 kids in the school, right? It's a pretty good number. If someone comes to me and asks me like, this is, there is a parade and all of that, and end of it, we want to give something to the students. If they come to the headmaster and how many of a particular item should we buy and keep it, the principal might end up telling 450. It's better to have a bit more than having less, because sometimes you have 41 41 41 in many classes, not 38, and we will not end up with 400. We need a bit more. Some might get damaged per se, or even you have to give it to your teachers, or so on and so forth. So like this, you can think of infinite possibilities. You can talk to please talk to your parents, please talk to your friends, family, right? In the classroom, have your teacher discuss this. I'm sure they will. So observe how people use estimation, observe how people use mental math. So these are real life maths, Many people ask me, why do we learn maths, So the answer is in front of you guys. There are many such scenarios wherein a lot of mathematical tools can be used smartly to make your day-to-day life a lot simpler. I'm not joking. It is possible. There are many apps just using simple maths and the apps are beautiful, right? But simple maths and a lot of common sense and a lot of practicality and a lot of experience. Let's look at one more. For instance, number of words in a textbook and the distance between two cities, right? So people talk about it's around 350 kilometers, right? It might not be. It might be 342. But when we go to get petrol, what do? We get 10 more miles or 10 more kilometers of petrol extra, just in case. Actually, not 10. We get extra 50. So people like to be safe, So 50 more kilometers extra petrol we might end up getting. A quick decision are made. Okay. Sometimes it's like fast judgment without getting bogged down by the precise calculation. For example, getting petrol. So how many liters do you want? We know that in a week, we might use, say, depending on the usage, 2 liters. So I might end up getting a petrol of 2.5, right? So I need not bother exactly that, I use around 2 liters and bit more of 100 ml. I need not do that. Is it not? Checking the reasonableness of a exact calculation. You can estimate an answer first to see if your precise calculation is in the right ballpark. So sometimes you calculate something and you feel that it's not matching. This happens in your, this you guys can use it in your answer script, right? So you had to do this. Okay. I mean, this is a very simple example. Let me take 21. And you went and wrote, say, 200, right? Again, this is a very simple example. Or say you might end up writing 1800. This is a possibility. We know that 20 into 19 is not at least thousands. It can't be thousands. So you will be like, oh, it's not possible. There's something wrong, right? That's a possibility. So this is where again we use simple estimation. So this you guys can use during your exams. This you should actually. When you're calculating something, you have a very complex calculation, like say something like this. Now there are a lot more examples over here as well. So say this, you guys get it in your 10th grade. T into 4 plus 9 or 10 minus 1 into 3, right? Something like this. So we know that the answer has to be at least not a single digit. It has to be double digit. And it can't be 4 digits, right? So simple estimation. So if I'm writing an answer by, I got some distraction, I got distracted a bit, and I'm writing something like this, I know that it's not possible, right? Here we have 12, here you have 27. So whatever you do, and here you have say 10 itself. So whatever you do, you will not end up with such big number. That you guys can be very clear with. So these are the scenarios wherein you will end up with using estimation. Of course, more than this. Estimating student number. So we spoke of that. Number classroom in her class section. 32 plus 29 plus 35 to be about 100, and total number of students in her class to be around 500. In her school to be around 500, even though she does not have the exact figure for all classes. Right, again, whatever example I gave, it's the same thing. Steps you would take to walk, okay, from the place you are sitting to the classroom. So this is a question wherein you guys have to give a rough estimate. So this is something that you guys should be doing it. Just have a rough estimate of how many steps you might take to go to your classroom door. 2, 10, some might be 20, 30, 40. Across the school ground from the start to the end. So basically going around once. From your classroom door to the school gate. Maybe it might be around, again, I'm roughly estimating 200 steps. From your school to your house. I know that it can't be 200 steps because according to me, as of now, I feel that 200 steps is quite nearby. Even if I have a school house in front of us, yeah, it will be less than 200. Or if not, if I have to travel half a kilometer, 1 or 2 kilometers, it will be quite a lot, right? 1,000 steps. So do that, have a rough estimate and see what is the exact answer. They too, you will not be getting an exact answer per se because, well, there are a lot of variables. And so you will end up giving a rough estimate. Number of times you blink your eye or number of breath you take in a minute, an hour, in a day. Breathe. So I take say 2 seconds or 3 seconds for one breathe. So in a minute it's 20. So for a minute if it's 20, for an hour it would be how much? 1200, right? So 2 zeros, 6 twos are. And in a day it's 24 hours. So again 24, 25 into 12. Again, we need not get exact answer. I'm trying to round it up. Is it not? So 25310. Is it not? Okay. So 20 in a day it will be 24 into this number, is it not? So 2 zeros and this has to be that. Yeah. Again, I'm not even bothering calculating this. So the number is something else, but who cares? Right? We need a rough estimate and go wow. That is the most important factor, not the exact answer. Not always the exact answer is needed. Right? Name some object around us that are a few thousands in number. Say few thousand. Bench or the chair that you guys sit on, more than 10,000 in number. Say the books, pencil. That's what I can think of. Think about what you guys have around. Students, if it's a decently big school, then students wearing shoes, those will be if they're 1,000 plus. So everyone has a pair, right? Then you can think of the clothes that they have for the school, so on and so forth. Let me see if you have more question. Right, guys. So it's fun. Try to have fun. All these are practical application of maths. And what we just saw was simple estimation. Simple estimation helps us figure out or come out of a complicated scenario, or maybe not complicated scenario, even a day-to-day mundane scenario. Getting it done faster is what people want end of it, Of course, not all the time, not when you're having an operation. So on a day-to-day basis wherein you go to get something and you want to see how much money you should carry, for example. If you're buying, say, apple instead of banana and so on and so forth. Now, as per the inflation and present setup, scenario, economy, I need to carry at least 200, 300. Depending on the number of people, say there are guests coming in, say 10 people, then I know that, okay, 3, 4 people, okay, this is the amount of fruits we are having, and I want to get more luxury fruits or fancy fruits or local fruits also. Of course, we should eat local fruits, but sometimes, some occasion, we want to get something fancy as well. So roughly, if that is taking 300 and say we are 3 people or 4 people, and we are spending 300, and if there are 10 more people or 12 more people coming, so I'll have to multiply with 3. So what did I tell? 300, 900. I'll carry at least 1,000, plus I'm getting something fancy. So 1,500 I'll carry. Does it make sense? Right? So ask such scenarios that your parents go through and ask them to put it across to you guys. And you guys can make them go, wow. You guys will sound a lot matured when you use all of this and do your day-to-day activities.